Hello, it's time for another installment on my teaching on Isaiah 63, and I'm going to call this one Part 4, The Sheep of Bozrah and the Breaker. Isaiah 63, Part 4. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why are you red in your apparel, and your garments like him that treads in the wine fat? I have tread in the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength upon the earth. Isaiah 63, 1 through 6. This startling picture of the second coming of Jesus is a vision of Christ as a returning warrior king, spattered with the blood of his enemies, coming from Edom, the area of southern Jordan, which is southeast of the Dead Sea. The battle is centered at Bozrah. Now, there are several Bozrahs in the Middle East, for the name Bozrah simply means sheepfold or enclosure. The remnant of Israel will have fled to the wilderness, as Jesus told them to in Matthew 24, 15 through 18, and as John predicted in Revelation 12. They will end up fleeing to Edom, where a siege of the refugees will begin to tighten when the Edomites, who are the Arab Muslims, will begin surrounding them, thinking that their time had finally come to wipe out the Jews and to bring on the end of the days. Remember that Islam has a prophecy in several hadiths, the prophecy of the rocks and the stones and the trees, that says that in the last day cannot come until the Muslims wipe out the Jews. On that day, even rocks and stones will help them, pointing out hidden Jews that they might kill them. It's gruesome, I know, it's evil and satanic. Now, Micah saw this also, for he said in Micah 2, verse 12, I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of you. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as the sheep of Bozrah, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. The noose tightens, and the Jewish remnant cries out in desperation to the Lord. All looks lost as the Gentile nations gather to slaughter the enclosed flock. They have no idea what is really in the mind of the Lord. And I quote Micah again from chapter 4. Now why do you cry aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now you shall go forth out of the city, and you will dwell in the field, and then you will go to Babylon. There shall you be delivered. There the Lord will redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Now also many nations are gathered together against thee, that say, let her be defiled, and let her eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither do they understand his counsel. For he will gather them as sheaves under the floor. Micah 4, 9 through 12. The deliverance of Israel comes through the arrival of the breaker. When night would fall, shepherds would often build a little enclosure, a Bozrah, to put the sheep in for protection. Either the shepherd himself would sleep in the opening as a door, or the shepherds would completely enclose the flock until morning. At the breaking of the dawn, the shepherd would come and break through the enclosure to lead the flock out. In that sense, he is the breaker. And I quote Micah 2, 12. The breaker is come up before them. They have broken up and have passed through the gate, and they are gone out of it, and their king shall pass before them, and the Lord on the head of them. Micah 2:13. Micah saw Jesus return to his chosen yet prodigal people as the breaker, coming to rescue the embattled and seemingly doomed flock, breaking through the siege and slaughtering the enemies in a bloody battle at Bozrah. Now so also did Jeremiah and Isaiah. And I quote Jeremiah 49:12-14. God says, I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her. Rise up to the battle, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Jeremiah 49:12-14. And Isaiah 34, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, for the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Isaiah 34:6-8. Now this is why Jesus comes from Edom, and how he dyed his glorious garments in Bozrah red, blood red. This is the procession of the elect by the great shepherd, the breaker, who gathers the flock and fights wild beasts for them in the wilderness. Thank you. God bless you.